Thank you for joining me today. This is Tim Collier, pastor and founder of Ring and Robe Ministries, as we take a quick dive, pun intended, on Jonah. Yes, we all know the story of Jonah. Jonah and the big whale, Jonah and the big fish. But it's so much more than that. Because we often talk about finding our purpose, as if it's a pleasant stroll through a park. But for Jonah, purpose didn't sound like a whisper. It sounded like thunder. You see, Nineveh wasn't just a city, it was the great city, and God was calling him to it. A place of power, influence, and frankly, a place that Jonah despised. His call wasn't to go where he was comfortable. It was a command to go exactly where he feared most. You see, inspiration often begins with disruption. If you feel a storm brewing in your life regarding a specific task or direction, don't assume it's a warning to stay away. It might be the very signal that your greatest work is waiting just beyond that horizon. Now, Jonah's first instinct was to run, so he boarded a ship bound for Tarshish, the opposite end of the known world. But here's the reality. You can change your geography, but you cannot outrun your calling. He ended up in the belly of a whale. We all have those moments, don't we? The dark nights of the soul, where we feel cramped, isolated, and overwhelmed. But look at the light piercing that water. The fish wasn't Jonah's tomb, it was his transport. It was a vessel of grace that kept him from drowning in the storm that he created for himself. So when you feel stuck in that dark, ask yourself, is this a prison or is this a place of preparation? When Jonah finally got out of the whale and stepped into Nineveh, he didn't come along with a 40-page strategic plan or a polished marketing campaign. He walked into that massive, bustling marketplace and spoke a simple message. In a city that took 3 days to walk across, the ripples of his obedience moved faster than he did. He was one man against an empire, yet because he was finally aligned with his mission, his presence carried more weight than the limestone walls around him. You see, your impact isn't about being the loudest or being the most qualified. It's about alignment. When you're where you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to do, your smallest actions, they can shift the trajectory of an entire culture. Now, you see what happened next? It was unprecedented. The entire city, from the king on his throne to the laborers in the field, performed a total pivot. They traded their gold and silk for sackcloth and ashes. They acknowledged that their current path was failing, and they chose a new one. You see, no organization, no team, and no individual is ever too far gone. Transformation is always one decision away. If an entire ancient empire can pivot in a day, so can you. Now, the story ends with Jonah sitting under a vine, angry that the city was saved. He cared more about the plant that was giving him shade than the 120,000 souls in the city. The final lesson of Jonah and Nineveh isn't about the big fish, the whale, the storm. It's about the heart. True inspiration must eventually turn into empathy. Our vision for 2026 shouldn't just be about reaching our goals. It should be about expanding our capacity to care for those people that those goals impact. So I ask you today, what is your Nineveh? Are you ready to stop running towards Tarshish and start walking towards your purpose? Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you're listening to, like what you see, make sure you click that subscribe button. Have a blessed day.